How many cars in the year 2024 have 3 pedals and 6 gears to row from?
Well, what's going on YouTube? This is What Would Josh Do? And this is a super exciting video because this company reached out to me and wanted me to check out their refrigerator. And this is a newer release. And this is actually a color that my wife was very happy with because she absolutely loves the color. So that's why I picked it out. But this is the BougeRV portable refrigerator. Let's go ahead and unbox it and check it out. I'm super excited because we actually have a trip planned for later this month, and I don't currently have a refrigerator to put in my vehicle. Well, that all changes as of right now because this one was sent to me, and I'm not being paid to make this video, but I did not pay for this product. So, full disclosure there. Let's go ahead and take it out. Pretty simple. Box is empty now. Now my cats are going to have something to absolutely have a blast with. Alright. Now that is a very purple color. And, oh my goodness, there is a lot going on here. So, here we have BougeRV, operation and controls, on and off, hold for 3 seconds. To switch it between max and eco, press the button to switch between max and eco. And then you have temperature control. You can switch it between Fahrenheit and Celsius. You can unlock it or lock it so you don't accidentally bump any of the controls. And then you have H, M, and L mode for protection modes. And then here, we actually have a USB port. What? Okay, that's kind of crazy. So you can charge up like a phone or something using that. And then we have a plus and minus, a settings, and a power button. The refrigerator may be inverted during delivery. To assure proper operation of the compressor, please keep the refrigerator standing upright for 12 hours before using it again. Okay, well, we'll have to do that because it was definitely upside down. Right here we have some information regarding the model number. Meat should be between negative 18 Celsius and 0 Fahrenheit. Frozen food is negative 18 Celsius, 0 Fahrenheit. And it just basically so on and so on. We have a very generous space in here. You can store all the cans and all the bottles and all the things that you want in there. That's awesome. Alright, in here we have the user manual. I definitely would recommend setting that somewhere safe because you never know if you're going to get an error or something and you know it was something easily resolvable and it shows you in there how to fix it. And then we have a couple different ways of powering this thing. So in here we have a cigarette lighter. This is super exciting. Super exciting because this can be plugged into your car and you can be keeping your stuff cool while you're in your car. Or you have a 12 volt so you can plug it in at your office or at home or anywhere you need it. The output is going to be 14.5 volts at 4.1 amps for a max of 59.45 watts. And why this is so exciting to me is I have a lot of these little guys right here that have cigarette lighters on them. So you can go ahead and plug it into that 12 volt outlet there. And you don't need to use AC. So anytime you can go DC to DC, that's your best option. And I've even got this old thing from 10 years ago. Still works fantastic. It's got a 12 volt cigarette lighter on it to power this thing. And this has a 444 watt hour battery in it. So pretty awesome. And then we've got this guy right here. It's also got the car outlet. And this is 555 watt hours. And I can also use AC, but it's going to be better to use the DC. And then for the most convenient thing, we have Anker's little 300 DC, which has a DC port right there, and 288 watt hours. So we're going to see how long we can keep this refrigerator going for. Now I'm going to go ahead and follow the as much as it kills me, as much as it's killing me right now to just go ahead and plug this thing up. It wants you to wait 12 hours. And this thing was definitely upside down for, you know, from sitting, you know, outside my porch. And then I got home from work and yeah, it was definitely upside down for some hours. So we're going to go ahead and wait the 12 hours. Let's take a look at the rest of it here, shall we? Right here we have some ventilation and I can see some like metal in there, so that's exciting. We also have some ventilation here on the back. And then we have that outlet right there to plug it up using either DC or AC. So DC 12 volts to 24 volts, more ventilation. And then I can definitely see a fan right here. There's a fan in there. And since it was already upside down, we'll just show with this. It says insulation blowing gas, cyclopenton, I don't know. So it has an actual compressor in there. Cool. All right, we'll follow the instructions. We'll give it some time, sadly. And then we're gonna be powering it with this little guy here and all of my other little things. And this is so cool. I can keep this thing going in my car and have it plugged into this. And then I can have this thing charging at like 100 watts using my cigarette lighter. So then when my car turns off, this thing's still putting out the 60 watts that this is calling for. This is all way too exciting. All right, let's come back later. All right, guys, it is currently 11:14 a.m. So we are now at that mark where I feel confident in turning this thing on for the very first time. And we've got some drinks to put in there. We're gonna see how many it can hold. We're gonna see how long it's gonna last on DC output on a 288 watt hour battery that should be fully charged. It helps if you hold down the actual power button instead of the screen on button. So I think we're at 100. Yes, we are. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna take this plug and connect it to the back here. Oh, it's angled. I didn't realize that. So it doesn't hang down. It connects like this instead of like this, which is fantastic. So it's just gonna connect like such. We're gonna peel off this tape that's got it on here. I'm gonna get my temperature gun. We're gonna get a baseline of the temperature in here, also to prove that it's not on. Okay, so there's the screen. You can see my hand is the warm part, but inside the cooler, it is cold. It is about 24 degrees in there. So what, not cold, but like, you know, it hasn't been turned on. So 24 degrees Celsius. And then what we're gonna do is we've got some drinks to throw in here to see how many cans it can hold. We're also gonna find out the best orientation. I haven't seen a picture of what the best... Okay, so you can't do them side by side like this. There's just not enough room. So if you do it like this, you can fit 3 at the bottom. Let me angle that so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so you can do 3 this way, but you cannot do it this way. There's just not enough room in there. So let's see. Maybe if we do it like... That might be the best way for this cooler. Alright, so we got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 cans. And now let's go ahead and see if we can stack it up like that. And if it's still... Okay, so that's a no-go. Don't do that. What if right here? Okay, so it closes right there. So you just can't have it near the edge. What about right there? No, because this thing is in the way right here. So we can do this. No. That's in the way. Okay, so we can do... Basically, the best thing to do is going to be just laying down on top right here. 3, 6, 7. So what if we do like this? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay, so just thinking of the best way to stack these cans. So let's just leave it like that for now. Let's just leave it like this, because we can't really fit another one in there. All right, so let's close. These cans just came from the store like probably 10 minutes ago. They are slightly cool. They are not cool at all. So I am reading 18 Celsius at the coldest point in here. So let's go ahead and power this thing on for the very first time. Let's connect it up to this guy, plug it into the DC port, and then we're gonna turn the DC port on, and the screen just lit up over there. So we'll hold down the power button. So it's set to 32 degrees. We'll go ahead and keep it there. It says it's currently 73 degrees in there. That's Fahrenheit. And we are drawing 30 watts right now. It says it's gonna last about 9 hours at that. So I'm assuming when the compressor kicks on, it's gonna draw a little bit more power than that. There's definitely a fan going inside this thing. That's the beautiful part about this guy. There's no fan at all. It even has a thing here that says 12.8 volts. Oh, the screen locked. Okay. So I think it auto locks, and then to unlock it, you just hold the settings button for 3 seconds. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, now you can interact with it. That's cool. So basically, if you have any young kids, they're not going to be able to sit there and mess with the temperature control, because they're probably not going to realize they have to hold this button down for 3 seconds to change it at all. Alright, it's 11:23 when I plug this in. It's drawing 41 watts. It says it's going to take 6.5 hours to kill this battery. I might have to switch power sources though, because I'm going to get home from work and it's going to be definitely past 6 hours. So this thing will be turned off. So I'm going to switch power sources. Yep, there, it made a beep because it auto-locked the panel, so your kid can't sit there and change the temperature. Alright, so we're going to give it a much bigger battery now. This is approximately twice the battery, so this is 555 watt hours, I believe. So this should easily get me to the point where I get home from work today and this thing is still running, because I want to see how cold this thing gets. It even has a little battery display right here to show you. That's kind of weird because there's no battery in here. This requires something like this, which is awesome because I do have plenty of these. At a 33 watt load, it's going to take an entire day to kill this thing. Alright, we'll be back after I get off work tonight. Alright, man. Long day at work. I'm off work now. Let's see what we're at. We're at 56% battery, according to this. It's only drawing 2 watts, which is fantastic. That means that the unit is at its operating temperature and it doesn't need to currently draw any power to function. So 56%, we killed half of this battery. And remember, this thing was turned on for the very first time, so it's easier for it to maintain the temperature than it is to get it to that temperature. And according to Google, the temperature should be between 35 and 38 for a refrigerator. So this stuff is probably very cold in there. Before we open this lid for the first time to get a temperature readout, we're gonna turn on our thermometer infrared thingy here. And I'm gonna change this to 35. I have it set to 32 right now, and it's currently 30 degrees in there. That is Fahrenheit. This is gonna measure things in Celsius, so I can change that in the settings, but I already took an initial temperature in Celsius before turning it on, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue to have it in Celsius. So with this, you can see my body. I'm gonna point it at the refrigerator here. You can see the hot point of the refrigerator is over here. And then, so I'm gonna open this lid. And now, hopefully you can get, let me just do this here. Let's pull this up. And 1.2 Celsius. 1.2 Celsius in there. Fantastic. Fantastic. Man, these things are freaking cool. I want to crack one of these open right now and drink it. Oh my gosh, that is fantastic. So we unlocked it. We're going to go ahead and change it to 35. But yeah, these are all very cold. Move the refrigerator away. The can is reading at 3 degrees Celsius. 2.6 degrees Celsius. 2.5. 2.1. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and include a clip of me putting this in my car and showing how small this unit is and how it can easily be transported. In fact, the previous refrigerator that I checked out that was battery powered, DC powered, or AC powered would not fit in my car's trunk. This thing should fit in my trunk just fine. I just realized there's even more tape down here. I'm super thrilled because now that I have, all of these things, like this 10-year-old unit here that's got the DC port that can do 12 volts and 10 amps, I can power this refrigerator almost indefinitely, because when this unit dies, I'll just put on this unit. And then when that unit dies, this unit right here will be fully charged and ready to go. And don't forget about this guy right here. And then all the other options we have that have the DC port, which is the C300 AC, which is in my living room right now. And then all of the other, I've got the River 2, I've got the River 2 Pro, I've got the River 3, I've got the Blue Yeti, I've got the Dobson, I've got so many things that have a 12-volt cigarette lighter. So I can literally power this refrigerator forever, essentially. And also I have solar panels. And with solar, I can keep this refrigerator running indefinitely forever. Because like right now, it is drawing absolutely no power at all. So in this time that the unit's at its operating temperature and it doesn't need to use the compressor or do anything, the sun is adding, for example, this thing can charge at 100 watts. If we have solar panel connected to the XT60 on this is getting a 100 watt charge from the sun while it's not putting out any power at all because this thing is at its operating temperature. And even when this thing does hit its operating temperature, this thing's going to get 100 watts from the sun, and it's only going to dish out anywhere between 30 and 50 watts to get this thing, running. And then it is going to calm down like it is right now as I'm recording, and you're going to reach 0 watts usage, but 100 watts input. So as long as you've got sun and you've got a couple of these batteries, you can literally run this thing forever. And hell, since I've got 2 of these, I can have solar connected to this one charging at 100 watts and have this one powering it independently. And then when this one's about to die, connect this one to solar and connect the refrigerator to this one. And then if you want to use this refrigerator at work or somewhere where you have direct access to a outlet, you can go ahead and use this guy and power it forever using AC. This refrigerator gets a thumbs up for me. I am super excited to have this thing and to use it in our trip.
Alright, so we're approaching the end of the video. This is the trunk of my car. This thing is quite small in comparison to the fact that I can push it back even further. But I have some stuff in the way and I'm gonna go ahead and pull it forward. And then now I can easily access the drinks that I have in there. And I can still easily close the lid. But obviously I have my solar panel connected right now so that I can provide some solar to this thing. Unfortunately, I don't have a way to really prop this thing up and get the best sun. Let me try something. Yay, that's exciting. So we are officially charging. The panel is getting some sun and it says we're putting in 71 watts right now. I hope you can see that. So we're essentially not using the battery at all right now since we have enough sun. And then later when the sun does go down, we're going to use the battery, but then the unit should be at its operating temperature and not using any power. So it's technically going for a very long time. And then when we do get sun, we can put 110 watts back into this battery. And whenever it is drawing power, it's usually only drawing 30 to 50 watts. So we are putting in a lot more energy than we're currently taking out. This is absolutely fantastic. And if I had this panel on the roof of my car, I could technically shut the trunk if I wired the cables where I could shut the trunk and keep the... Anyways, there'd be a way to have this thing charging. Obviously, then, you know, there's no real air circulation in your car. It's really hot and it's going to probably overheat. But anyways, it's a concept. It's a concept. And then... I can close my trunk if I find a way to route the cables where they go inside the car and maybe like through the little gap in the door and the window. I don't know. Or roll the window up and put the cable out. I don't know. There would be a way around it. 71 watts of solar. Oh, that's just so exciting. I'm tickled. And this thing fits in my trunk and gives me a lot of room. And I could always just move this thing to the side. And then look at all that space I have in there. That just takes up no space at all. I love it. All right, and for the last demonstration, here it is. It's on the roof of the car. And got the cooler in the back seat here, so it's getting plenty of airflow. This side, not so much, but you do got the other side. I can just lean it forward, or I can put it long ways. Yeah, I could do it long ways, and then I could fit 2 people. Because right now, with it this way, I can only fit 1 person in there. And we're inputting a low amount of power, which is just 23 watts, but we're taking away 40 because this isn't the best ideal setup for the solar panel. All right, and then lastly, look, you could fit 2 people in there on that side and still have your cooler, and then open your door and access your drinks that are inside it. And this thing's currently drawing 48 watts, and it's inputting 25 from the sun. And then when we want to go somewhere, just obviously fold up the panel, load it up into the car. You can see that we are currently getting power, which says 11.6 volts. The compressor is currently on. I can feel the vibration for the fan and everything. And we are drawing a load of 47 watts. It says it'll last 5 hours at this current state. So as long as within 5 hours, A, the compressor kicks off, or B, we add some energy to it, such as solar, we're golden. And I can tell you that I have it set really high right now for this video. So we'll change it from 30 to 38. And then it's gonna realize that it's 30 degrees in there. And then it's gonna stop drawing power from the battery. And there you go, it realizes that it's 30 degrees in there and we're not currently drawing any power from this battery. And if the percentage had gone down and you have, 70, 80 watts of solar going in, this thing's gonna charge up and run indefinitely forever. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I'm still relatively new to this whole power station and solar panel stuff, so please bear with me. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. How many cars in the year 2024 have 3 pedals and 6 gears to row from? Especially when you consider the fact that the car is a 2023. It's a newer car. Can't get very many of them with stick shifts anymore.